Welcome back to the channel. I've actually I worked on this guitar. I set it up once. I made a video and I've just acquired the guitar in a trade from the person who I set it up for. And this guitar, I mean, it's got a couple of things going for it. One, the frets are 50 thousandths tall. The neck is really straight. 24-inch scale. With tens, it's really slinky with tens. And it's kind of cool looking. And it'd be nice if it had single coil pickups. So I don't know, I was thinking of maybe I could even just reverse the polarity of these two. So it'll sound the same, but in the mid, maybe give us a little different, out of phase sound. Try something like that. So yeah, I'll take a peek inside of it and figure out something we can do, or just keep it the way it is and maybe just dress and polish the frets, because I didn't do that. The setup, I didn't even have to cut the nut. Once I straightened it out, it's like the nut was pretty good. So we'll get a look inside this thing. Now, it'd be pretty easy to switch these. I wish I had made a recording of it in the middle position with both pickups on before I do that. But I mean, I did play it earlier, so I know how it sounds. So I'll get the soldering gun out and we'll swap these two and we'll put it back together. We certainly got some creative pickguard hole drilling. That's one way to really tell a cheap guitar. They don't put the pickguard screws in straight. They're crooked. So we'll switch these leads and see what happens. All right, we have the lead switched, and we'll just slap it back together real quick. The bottom kind of drops out of it. But where you really notice is where you really notice it is with gain. So here is the neck. Bridge. Okay, the middle position. And you roll the tone down a little bit there. Roll it down all the way. A little more treble. All the treble. I kind of like it with the tone rolled down a bit. So the middle out of phase sound worked really good with this guitar. It really worked well, especially when you roll the tone down a bit. So I never really used the mid position on a double humbucking guitar. I just never did. I'm more like the bridge or the neck. So the one thing that doesn't annoy me about this guitar is how lousy some of these holes are drilled, especially these two. So I might just drill them all out, stick dowels in them. It only takes a minute. Glue them in and put the pick guard down and re-drill nice straight holes, because I just find that annoying. And I think this one is stripped too. I measured the frets and they're 50 thousandths tall. So this thing's got some pretty good frets on it. I didn't dress the frets when I worked on it for the previous owner. So maybe I will do that too, because I could make it really, I mean, it plays really good, but I can make it play better. These screws are really jacked up. I think this one is stripped. So I'm gonna dowel them all. So when I do that, I usually get my micrometer out and then I put it to the size of this, and then I usually find a drill bit that should work pretty good for it. Which this is pretty close. So I'm going to use this drill bit with this dowel. And you can see here I'm going to put a little piece of tape on there so I know when to stop, because the screw only goes so deep. So you don't need to drill super deep. So what I'm going to do is, the drill fits through this. So I'm going to leave these two screws in so I know it's right in the right area, and I'll just drill them like so. Okay, like I know this one is stripped. Oh, that's totally crooked. Totally crooked. Okay, I'll stick a screw back in there. It's kind of resting against the pick guard, keeping it in the right position. So then I'm doing them all because they're all just so sloppy and terrible. And I'll just stick this back in there for now. We'll get that last one. I'll hold on to it with my left hand. Come on, screw. If you're not with me, you're against me. All right, so there you have it. All right, so we know that we don't need too much. We need about that much in each one. You see that? So we'll just start cutting them off. We got quite a few here. We're doing them all. They're all sloppy. It's like this. I mean, the guitar plays good. The frets are not installed bad. Well, when I dress the frets, we'll really find out. But all in all, it plays good. This is really easy and fast. Well, you got to wait a little while for it the glue to dry, but not long. If this guitar didn't have a straight neck and didn't play good, I would never do this. All right. It's pretty simple. Just slap some glue on this baby. A little glue in the hole and push it in, push it in. Let that sit. See how easy this is? I got a little more glue left. I need a little more glue. Oh, that was way more than I really wanted, but I do have a lot to do, so. Okay, that's way too much though. I gotta work fast. I got a lot of glue out here. Oh, I like to go like this, get a little glue in there. Get a little bit of that on there. Let's see how fast this goes. I've already got a few done. Come on, baby. This one's being tough. Okay. Okay, now we snip them off. See where my garbage is. And I just wipe off any excess glue. It's in the old side cutters, or dikes as some people call them. I want to wipe off that excess glue. Get these guys. For my Kung Fu grip. Get the excess glue. Okay, now I use a scalpel. Almost every time I take this out, there's bloodshed. Now, when I slice it, note that I'm going inward. Like you wouldn't go like that, because what if you scratched it? Always go inward. Let's see if I can keep from bludgeoning, cutting myself up. There, just going to go a little bit this way here, real careful. Go real slow. That's perfect right there. Did you notice that I didn't let the glue come out here? Because I don't hardly ever use this. So I just opened it. Because then I like to, when I do use it like this, I would like to clean all that with water. And I didn't want to do that just to do this procedure. That's why I didn't use it like that. All right, they're all looking pretty good. Looking good. Okay, now when you're drilling holes for a screw, this is what you want to do. You want to have the screw, the drill, this end is the same thickness as this end, right? You want to be able to see the threads on both sides. See the threads on both sides? Because if you drill too big, then that won't have anything to bite with. The way they drilled this, it's like the holes were really big, and it really made it easy for them to be sloppy. I'll show you a little close-up picture of this. Okay, I got a little tape so I know how far down to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a couple, and then I'm going to put the screws in to hold it in position. It's important that it's going to be held in position. And it's pretty easy to see where it went, because you can see the holes through here. You can see the wood dowels. So that's an important thing. It fits around here really tight, and it fits around here pretty snug. So this should be pretty easy to do. So to get the holes where you want, I sometimes use this little Allen, and I'll put it right in the center. And I'll just smack it a couple times. And it'll have a nice spot for the drill bit to go into. Kind of like a guide for it. Be much quicker and more accurate. Okay. Gonna knock that camera over, aren't I? Okay. Now we can do it. All over the place. And if you're careful, you could use this. Okay, so there you have it. All the screws are in some fresh wood. This one had like a hole right next to it, but I think it's pretty good. It's okay. So there you go. That took from start to finish, not including the time drying, probably took about 10 minutes, I would say. So that's pretty easy. So that's done. So what's next for this thing? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dress these frets. I'm going to get my fret rocker. Before I mask it, I want to just clean off some of the finger marks on here. Should mask off that pickup. I'm just going a little bit. There we go. Okay, the little Mustang is all taped up. And we got this capoed. Let's see what we got. You see how there's a little bit of relief there? Oh, we want to take that out. It's totally loose, this truss rod. We'll tighten it up a little bit. I'm having a tough time today. My dog, Bindi, got euthanized at like 9:30. It's the greatest little dog ever. Okay. See, a lot closer. Okay, we'll go a little bit more. Somewhere around the 12th fret. And it's getting pretty close. Come on. Wow. A little bit more. Okay, that's pretty darn close. If I go way down here, ooh, which is hard to stretch. I'm going to go a little bit more just to see what happens. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the 12th fret. Wow. Okay. There's still some relief. I'm going to crank on this thing. See what happens. Okay, it's just about gone. Okay, so we're going to take our fret rocker and we'll go over every fret. Like this. See that? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Let's get close. You can see it rocking, right? So it's pretty obvious why they call it a fret rocker. So I'm going to go over the whole fretboard, and I will use this lovely blue marker to mark where it's high. I mean, when I do it, I'll be going across the fret, because sometimes it'll just stop, like there. It's rocking, not rocking. So we want to be very specific where we put the high fret marks. Okay, I have these little, you can see the little dots next to the fret, but I drew on top of the fret so it might be easier for you to see. These are all the high frets, and some of them are pretty stinking high. So I might do something different today. I might get a hammer and a piece of wood and go over them first. Try that and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna try that one's really obnoxious. I'm gonna try hammering. I got some hardwood here, and I'm just gonna bang into the camera. I'm just gonna get my neck rest right underneath it. I'm gonna try a little. And then we'll see, is it any different? Seems to be different down there. Try here a little bit more. It's really high there. All right, let's see, where are we here? Wow, it's not rocking at all. I'm going to go over every one of these, and then I'll have to redo them, but it might be a lot less sanding. So I'm just going to bang on all of them, see what I get. All right, I've done the first couple, and here's one. If you can see this one, I haven't done this one yet. It's not rocking at all. So some went down, some didn't. So I'm just going to carry on. Okay, and for you people that haven't been on this channel and you haven't seen how I cure these tall frets, and later I'll show you what happened with the hammering. But see, kind of high, rocking. Talking thousandths of an inch. It's not much. I like to go with the fret too. Oops. Still rocking. Not much, almost done. Right about there it stops. A little bit more. Tiny bit. Right here. Tiny bit right there. See, if the frets were put in all the way at the factory, this wouldn't be an issue. And it happens not only on cheap guitars. Some mid-price guitars suffer the same thing. $800-900 guitars. Sometimes more. Like those Mexican Fenders, I mean, they get them. Okay, doesn't seem to be rocking at all now. Okay, I finally got them all done. Now if you look, you see there's dots on the right side of the fret and then a line on the left. Well, when I checked them all first, as you probably recall, I just put dots where the frets were high. And then I hammered them down. And some went down, some didn't go down. But this is what it was like after. The line shows what it was like after. So you got a little bit better. That was kind of the same. Some were like, see, that went down pretty good right here, but not there. So you could see here it was on the right side there. Then after knocking it down, it was up here. And this one was up all the way. All the way. So it kind of changed as it went. But they're all level now, so now I can just dress them all together. I'll start with 600 and I'll go up like I normally do. So before I dress all the frets, I am going to just do the fret ends. Kind of dancing around the tripod here. Just gonna do this. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the frets with these sandpapers. I already did the high frets with 400. Okay, now I'm just going to go over it quickly with some Mother's Mag and aluminium polish. And before I peel the tape, I really clean off all the frets. We want to get that polish off. Here's a shot of the polished frets. Pretty smooth. Now we'll put some lemon oil on the wood and let that dry. Okay, next I'm going to try a set of 9 to 42s. I mean, I put 10s on it when I set it up for the customer, but now I own it. I want to see what a 24-inch scale with 9s is going to feel like, because it was pretty slinky with 10s. Now these are off of Jazzmaster, so here's the E string. Check it out. I'm pretty sure it's going to fit. Look how long it is. So I'm going to put these on and then we'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens at the nut here. Well, I put the 9 to 42s on that I had left over from the Jazzmaster. They were really long, had no problems. And I intonated it, and here's about where the action is set. It plays really good, this little guitar. I'm just going to leave on the 9s for now and figure out, do I want to keep this little guitar or get rid of it? I do like it, and I put the pickups out of phase in the middle, so it does quite a different sound out of phase. in the center, but I mean, it plays pretty decently. The neck is pretty good. I don't even think the truss rod is even, I don't even think I have the truss rod even on at all. Okay, I do it just a little bit. Just a little bit. So it's got a pretty decent neck, got a little strength to it, which is always good. Sometimes you loosen the truss rod and the neck just folds up. I remember buying a Strat once. I was going to a guy's house to buy something or trade something, and a guy had like a Mexican Strat, and it had no strings on it, and I bought it. Oh my God, what a crappy neck. It was like made out of rubber. So I never did that twice. So we'll see what happens to this. So I'm not sure if that's all for today, but it's a sad day. My dog was put down today here at the house, and I needed something to do, so I worked on this guitar. So who knows, I might do a future project. Maybe I'll do another fender decal and tint the neck. Just for something to do. Anyway, that's it for today, everybody. Please take care. I'll see you next time. Hi, Bindi. Hey, how you doing, you monster?